The year is approximately 1150. Woolpit, a small village nestled in the heart of Suffolk, England, knows only the rhythm of the seasons. Life here is dictated by the land, a constant cycle of planting, harvesting, and survival. The world stretches no further than the neighboring villages, and the concerns of the villagers rarely extend beyond their own fields and families. The social structure is simple. At the top are the landowners like Sir Richard de Calne, holding sway over the land and its people. Below them are the peasants bound to the soil. There lives a constant struggle against the elements. The church offers solace and guidance, its teachings shaping their worldview. Wolves still roam the forests, a constant threat to livestock. The very name of the village, Woolpit, speaks to this danger, pits dug to trap the beasts that prey upon the flocks. Then one day something extraordinary happens. Near the wolf pits, two children are found unlike any seen before. Their skin is a shocking green, their clothes strange and unfamiliar. They speak in a tongue no one understands. Fear and superstition grip the village. Are they creatures of the forest, demons in disguise? The villagers huddle together, unsure of what to do. Their initial reactions are a mixture of curiosity, fear, and suspicion. Food is offered, but they refuse everything except raw beans, plucked directly from the vine. Their strange diet only deepens the mystery surrounding them. News of the strange children reaches Sir Richard de Calne, the local landowner. A man of some standing and curiosity, he decides to take them into his care. Sir Richard, a pragmatic man, sees an opportunity to unravel the mystery. He brings them to his manor, offering them food, shelter, and a chance to learn their story. The boy, however, is sickly. Despite the care he receives, he weakens and soon succumbs to an unknown illness. He is baptized before his death, a gesture of hope in the face of the inexplicable. The boy is buried in the village churchyard, a silent testament to the mystery he brought with him. The girl is left alone, her grief echoing in the unfamiliar landscape. The girl, resilient, begins to adapt. She learns English, slowly bridging the communication gap. As she learns, she begins to share glimpses of her former life, tantalizing fragments of a world unknown. "We come from St. Martin's Land," she says, her voice hesitant but clear. "A place where the sun never shines brightly and everything is green." Her words open a door to a realm of speculation and wonder, a medieval enigma that will endure for centuries to come. The children's arrival presented an immediate challenge: communication. Their words were unlike any tongue known in Suffolk, a series of guttural clicks and melodic whispers that baffled all who listened. Sir Richard de Calne, a man of some learning, summoned priests, scholars, and travelers, yet none could decipher their strange language. Food, too, was a struggle. The children refused the roasted meats and crusty bread offered to them, their faces contorting in disgust. Only raw beans, plucked fresh from the field, seemed to appease their hunger. They devoured them with a desperate eagerness, a habit that further solidified their image as beings apart. The boy, weaker than his sister, never truly adapted. He sickened, his vibrant green fading to a sickly pallor. Despite the best efforts of the village healers and the comforting words of the priest, he grew steadily weaker. Baptism was administered in the hope of saving his soul, but it proved too late. The green boy, a mystery from beginning to end, succumbed to an unknown ailment. The girl, however, possessed a resilience her brother lacked. Slowly, painstakingly, she began to learn the language of her new home. A young servant girl, patient and kind, dedicated herself to teaching her, repeating simple words and phrases until the green girl began to mimic them, her strange accent slowly fading. As her English improved, the girl began to tell her story. She spoke of a land called St. Martin's Land, a place unlike anything the villagers had ever imagined. There, she said, struggling with the unfamiliar words, the sun never shines brightly. It is always twilight, like the hour before dawn or after dusk. Everything is green there, she continued, her voice soft and wistful. The fields, the trees, even the water. Only the twilight sky is different, a hazy, unchanging gray. The villagers listened with rapt attention, their faces a mixture of fascination and disbelief. A land of perpetual twilight and verdant hues, it sounded like a fairy tale. News of the green children reached the ears of Ralph of Coggeshall, a Cistercian monk known for his meticulous chronicles. He recorded the events with a cautious skepticism, acknowledging the strangeness of the tale while refraining from outright condemnation or acceptance. He noted the villagers' accounts, the children's peculiar appearance, and the girl's descriptions of her homeland, carefully preserving the story for posterity. Similarly, William of Newburgh, a canon regular and another respected chronicler, documented the story. William, however, approached the tale with a more critical eye. While he acknowledged the widespread belief in the green children, he emphasized the need for careful investigation and the potential for exaggeration or misinterpretation. As time passed, the green girl continued to adapt. She shed her strange clothes for the simple garments of the English villagers. She learned to eat their food, though she never lost her fondness for raw beans. She helped with the chores in Sir Richard's manor, proving herself a willing and capable worker. Though her green skin remained a constant reminder of her mysterious origins, she slowly began to integrate into the community. The green girl's story, as told by Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh, became a curious footnote in the annals of medieval England. It spoke of the unknown, the mysterious, and the enduring human fascination with the other. It was a tale that would be told and retold, embellished and reinterpreted for centuries to come. Ralph, ever the cautious chronicler, included the green girl's tale in his writings, fully aware of its unusual nature. He hoped that future generations might find some meaning in this strange event. He knew that history often held more questions than answers. William, despite his skepticism, could not dismiss the story entirely. He included it in his own historical account, but he also urged his readers to consider alternative explanations. Perhaps, he suggested, the green children were not from another world, but rather refugees from a nearby land, their green skin a result of some unknown ailment or circumstance. The mystery, he knew, would likely endure. Within the hallowed walls of Coggeshall Abbey, Ralph, a monk dedicated to preserving knowledge, found himself captivated by a peculiar tale circulating through the villages of Suffolk. It was a story of two children, their skin an uncanny green, discovered near the village of Woolpit. Unlike William of Newburgh, who focused on secular history, Ralph's Cistercian perspective often intertwined earthly events with spiritual interpretations. He saw signs and portents in the unusual, viewing the world through a lens of divine providence. As Ralph meticulously recorded the events of his time, the story of the green children presented him with a unique challenge. How could he reconcile this extraordinary occurrence with his understanding of the natural world and the divine order? Ralph, though he never met the green children directly, likely relied on accounts from those who had. This distance, while maintaining his objectivity, also introduced the potential for inaccuracies and embellishments. News and information reached Coggeshall Abbey through a network of travelers, pilgrims, and messengers. Ralph carefully assessed the reliability of each source, understanding the biases and agendas that might color their accounts. He likely sought information from individuals in Woolpit and the surrounding area, people who may have encountered the children or heard stories firsthand from those who did. Ralph's account provides valuable insight into the medieval understanding of the world. It highlights the limited geographical knowledge of the time and the prevalence of folklore and superstition. His religious beliefs undoubtedly influenced his interpretation of the story, shaping his understanding of the children's origins and their place in God's creation. Ralph attempted to contextualize the girl's description of St. Martin's Land within the framework of medieval cosmology, struggling to reconcile her account with established geographical and theological knowledge. The death of the boy, recounted by Ralph, is a somber reminder of the children's vulnerability and the challenges they faced in adapting to a new environment and diet. He saw it as a test of faith. While Ralph's account provides a crucial historical record, it's essential to recognize its limitations. He did not personally witness the events, and his interpretation was shaped by his own beliefs and the information available to him. Ultimately, Ralph of Coggeshall's chronicle serves as a valuable, albeit imperfect, window into the past, offering a glimpse into the medieval mindset and the enduring mystery of the green children of Woolpit. His work ensures the survival of this strange and fascinating tale for future generations. Far to the north of Woolpit, in the Priory of Newburgh, William, a canon of keen intellect, approached the strange tale of the green children with a historian's discerning eye. He valued accuracy above all else, meticulously sifting through accounts to separate fact from fable. Unlike Ralph of Coggeshall, who seemed more willing to embrace the fantastical elements of the story, William sought verifiable evidence. He consulted various sources, comparing narratives and searching for corroborating details, ever mindful of the potential for embellishment and distortion in oral accounts. William's account, found in his Historia Rerum Anglicarum, presents the story of the green children, but with a cautious tone. He acknowledges the strangeness of the tale, yet avoids outright endorsement, maintaining a distance that reflects his commitment to historical rigor. He recounts the children's arrival, their unusual skin color, their strange language, and their initial diet of raw beans. He notes the girl's eventual assimilation into the local community and her explanation of her homeland, St. Martin's Land. However, unlike Ralph, William includes caveats. He emphasizes that he is relaying the story as he heard it, without personally vouching for its absolute truth. He is careful to distance himself from any interpretation that might be considered overly credulous or superstitious. William's methodology is evident in his writing. He avoids sensationalism, focusing instead on presenting the information as clearly and objectively as possible. He acknowledges the limitations of his knowledge and the possibility of error, a hallmark of a true historian. His skepticism stems not from a rejection of the possibility of extraordinary events, but from a commitment to seeking rational explanations. He likely considered alternative scenarios, perhaps involving refugees or individuals suffering from a rare medical condition. While lacking modern scientific knowledge, William would have been aware of various theories about humors and imbalances in the body. He might have wondered if some illness could account for the children's peculiar complexion. Furthermore, William would have been cognizant of the political and social upheavals of the era. The reign of King Stephen had been marked by civil war and widespread disruption. The possibility of displaced populations and desperate individuals seeking refuge would not have been lost on him. Ultimately, William's account serves as a valuable counterpoint to Ralph's. It demonstrates the importance of critical thinking and the need to approach extraordinary claims with a healthy dose of skepticism, even in an age steeped in superstition. While he could not definitively explain the mystery of the Green Children, William of Newburgh ensured that the tale was preserved, but with a crucial emphasis on the limitations of human knowledge and the importance of responsible historical inquiry. His account stands as a testament to the power of careful observation and reasoned analysis, even when confronted with the seemingly inexplicable. His legacy is not one of solving the mystery, but of demonstrating how to grapple with the unknown, a lesson that resonates even centuries later, as we continue to ponder the strange case of the Green Children of Woolpit. Ralph of Coggeshall pondered the Green Children. Could there be a natural explanation for their bizarre hue? He recalled whispers of maladies causing strange skin discolorations, though none precisely matching the vibrant green of the children. William, ever the pragmatist, sought answers in his collection of medical treatises. He scoured descriptions of various ailments, searching for a condition that might account for the children's unusual pigmentation, discounting fantastical explanations as he went. The green girl, now slowly learning to speak English, remained a puzzle. Her health improved with proper nourishment, but her skin retained its peculiar color, defying any simple explanation. In modern times, medical experts have speculated on the possible causes of the children's green skin. One theory suggests hypochromic anemia, also known as chlorosis, a condition that can cause a greenish tinge to the skin due to iron deficiency. Chlorosis, while rare today, was more common in the past. Lack of access to iron-rich foods could have contributed to such a condition, potentially explaining the children's hue. However, the vibrancy of their green skin makes this diagnosis less certain. Another possibility is poisoning. Certain substances can cause skin discoloration, although rarely a uniform green. Arsenic, for instance, was not unknown in medieval times, though its effects are more varied. Sir Richard de Calne, responsible for the children's well-being, would likely have consulted local healers and wise women, seeking remedies for their strange condition. The resources available to him were limited, relying on herbal remedies and folk medicine. Ralph, within the confines of Coggeshall Abbey, discussed the children's case with fellow monks, seeking insights from their collective knowledge of medicine and natural philosophy. The limitations of medieval understanding were evident, however. William, ever skeptical, considered the possibility of a deliberate deception. Could the children's skin have been dyed, perhaps with readily available plant extracts? He knew such tricks were not unheard of, though the permanence of the color argued against it. While woad, madder, and weld were common dyes, achieving a vibrant, lasting green would have been difficult. Moreover, the dye would likely have washed off over time, contradicting the accounts of the children's persistently green skin. The green boy's deteriorating health, despite the attempts to nourish him, further complicated the matter. If his condition was caused by a treatable ailment, the lack of effective medical knowledge likely sealed his fate. Ultimately, the mystery of the green skin remains unsolved. Without modern medical analysis, the true cause of the children's peculiar pigmentation remains lost to time, a medical enigma wrapped in medieval folklore. Within the quietude of Coggeshall Abbey, Ralph wrestled with the enigma of the Green Children. Their tale resonated with ancient legends of lost tribes and forgotten realms. Could St. Martin's Land be more than mere fantasy? Miles away in Newburgh Priory, William approached the problem with a historian's eye. He considered the established trade routes and known migrations. Could a community, isolated by geography or circumstance, have remained hidden from the broader world, developing such unique characteristics? The girl, now learning to speak English, offered fragmented descriptions of St. Martin's Land. She spoke of a world in perpetual twilight, a land geographically distinct from the known world. Her descriptions, though childlike, hinted at a place of profound isolation. Sir Richard de Calne, burdened by the responsibility for these unusual children, sought answers through prayer and counsel. He consulted with learned men, inquiring about any knowledge of distant lands or forgotten peoples. Ralph delved into the annals of Rome and Britain, seeking evidence of communities that might have retreated into the shadows of the forests, preserving their own distinct culture and language, hidden from the conquering Normans. William interviewed traveling merchants, pressing them for accounts of distant lands and unusual peoples. He sought confirmation of whispers and rumors, hoping to find a thread that might lead to the truth behind the Green Children's origins. Local folklore spoke of hidden folk, beings dwelling in the earth or in forgotten corners of the land. Could St. Martin's Land be another variation of these ancient tales, a hidden kingdom concealed from the eyes of ordinary mortals? The girl's crude drawings, though rudimentary, offered tantalizing glimpses of her world. She depicted a land crisscrossed by a great river and shrouded in perpetual twilight, fueling speculation about its possible location. Ralph considered the astronomical implications of the girl's words. Could the perpetual twilight be explained by a unique geographical location, or perhaps a celestial phenomenon unknown to the scholars of the time? William meticulously recorded the few words he had extracted from the Green Girl, hoping to find linguistic connections to known languages. Could this unknown tongue unlock the secrets of St. Martin's Land? The story of the Green Children became woven into the fabric of local lore, another thread in the rich tapestry of tales passed down through generations. St. Martin's Land joined the ranks of mythical places whispered about in the hushed tones of the night. Though she adapted to her new life, a part of the Green Girl remained in St. Martin's Land. The mystery of her origins lingered, a haunting reminder of the unknown corners of the world and the enduring power of the human spirit to survive in the face of the unimaginable. Ralph, immersed in his chronicles, recognized a pattern of unrest. Tales of Flemish immigrants arriving on English shores were increasingly intertwined with accounts of prejudice and violence. William, ever the pragmatist, studied the map. The eastern coast, particularly near Suffolk, had become a haven for Flemish weavers and merchants, seeking refuge from strife on the continent. Driven from their homes by war and persecution, these Flemish families sought sanctuary in England, hoping for tolerance and a chance to rebuild their lives. Yet the welcome was not always warm. The English, wary of outsiders and their strange customs, often met the Flemish with suspicion and even hostility. The possibility arose: could the Green Children be lost Flemish children? Their unfamiliar tongue, their strange attire, could these be misinterpretations of Flemish dialect and clothing styles? But even those with some knowledge of Flemish found their language utterly foreign. The children's speech bore no resemblance to any known tongue in the region. Ralph, ever the scholar, consulted his library, seeking any linguistic connections, poring over texts on obscure languages and dialects, hoping to find a thread that might unravel the mystery. William took a more practical approach, interviewing Flemish merchants who frequented the local markets, meticulously noting the subtle variations in their dialects. The historical records painted a grim picture. Flemish settlements were often targeted by English mobs, fueled by xenophobia and economic resentment. Violence was commonplace. Could these children have witnessed such horrors? Could their green skin be a result of some unknown ailment, exacerbated by fear and trauma experienced during such violence? Ralph pondered the immense suffering endured by these refugees. Could the story of the green children be a distorted echo of this historical reality, filtered through the lens of folklore and superstition? William remained skeptical. While the persecution of the Flemish was undeniable, he found it difficult to reconcile this with the truly bizarre aspects of the children's story. The mystery persisted. The medieval world was steeped in folklore, a tapestry woven with threads of Christian belief and ancient superstitions. For every prayer whispered in the chapel, there were tales told by the hearth, stories of mischievous sprites, malevolent demons, and the ever-present threat of the unknown lurking just beyond the village limits. These stories served as both entertainment and instruction, imparting moral lessons and reinforcing community values. They explained the unexplainable, a failed harvest, a sudden illness, the disappearance of a child, attributing such misfortunes to supernatural forces that demanded respect, appeasement, or outright fear. While chroniclers like myself strive for accuracy, even we are not immune to the influence of these pervasive beliefs. We filter our observations through the lens of our time, interpreting events in the context of what we know, or think we know, about the world. The concept of the otherworld was deeply ingrained in the medieval psyche. Fairies, elves, and other supernatural beings were believed to inhabit hidden realms, sometimes benevolent, often malicious, and always unpredictable. These beings could cross over into the human world, causing mischief, stealing children, or leading travelers astray. Could the green children, with their strange appearance and unknown language, have been perceived as creatures from such an otherworld? Were they seen as changelings, fairy children left in place of human infants? The very idea demanded careful consideration. The fear of the unknown, the other, was palpable. Anything that deviated from the accepted norms was met with suspicion, mistrust, and often outright hostility. The green children, being so utterly different, would have inevitably faced this prejudice. Medieval maps were not simply geographical tools. They were also reflections of the worldview of the time. Unexplored regions were often populated with mythical beings and fantastical landscapes, embodying the fears and fantasies of the mapmakers. It is our duty as chroniclers to sift through these layers of belief and superstition, to separate fact from fiction, and to present the most accurate account possible. Yet, we must acknowledge that the very act of storytelling shapes the narrative, influencing how future generations will perceive these events. Storytelling was the primary means of transmitting cultural values and historical events. Ballads and tales, passed down through generations, reinforced societal norms, celebrated heroic deeds, and warned against the dangers of straying from the accepted path. The story of the green children, with its elements of mystery, otherworldliness, and the unknown, was ripe for adaptation and embellishment. Each retelling would add new layers of meaning, shaping the narrative to fit the prevailing beliefs and anxieties of the time. The ever-present fear of eternal damnation also played a significant role in shaping medieval thought. The Church wielded immense power, defining what was considered acceptable behavior and condemning anything that deviated from its teachings. This fear fostered a climate of conformity and suspicion, making it difficult to question established beliefs. Therefore, as I continue my investigation into the perplexing case of the Green Children of Woolpit, I must strive to remain vigilant against the seductive allure of folklore and superstition. The truth, however elusive, lies somewhere amidst the tales, the beliefs, and the fears of this medieval world. Woolpit in the 12th century was a place defined by its land. The rhythm of life was dictated by the seasons, and the prosperity of its inhabitants was directly linked to the fertility of its soil. It was a landscape of open fields, dense woodlands, and scattered settlements, a microcosm of rural England. The village's very name, Woolpit, hints at its past. Wolfpittas, Old English for wolf pits, reveals a landscape where the threat of wolves was ever present. These carefully constructed traps, designed to snare the predators, were a testament to the constant struggle between man and nature. The wolf pits were not merely holes in the ground. They were a symbol of protection, a physical barrier against the dangers lurking in the surrounding woods. The villagers relied on these pits to safeguard their livestock, and by extension, their livelihoods. Ralph of Coggeshall, within the quiet confines of his abbey, considered the significance of the location. Woolpit, he knew, was not merely a place on a map, but a repository of local lore, a place where the natural and the supernatural often intertwined. William of Newburgh, ever the meticulous historian, sought to understand Woolpit within the broader context of Suffolk's past. He delved into the archives, searching for clues that might shed light on the extraordinary tale of the Green Children. The region surrounding Woolpit was no stranger to travelers and traders. Market towns served as hubs of commerce and communication, bringing news and stories from distant lands. Such interactions could have easily given rise to exaggerated tales and misinterpretations. Folklore thrived in the medieval world, passed down through generations by word of mouth. Local legends and superstitions shaped the way people perceived the world around them, often blurring the line between reality and fantasy. The wolf pits, the very place where the Green Children were found, may have held a symbolic significance. Were they a gateway to another world, a portal through which these strange children emerged? Or were they simply a point of vulnerability, a place where the vulnerable could easily become lost and disoriented? Sir Richard de Calne's manor, a center of authority and refuge, played a role in shaping the narrative. His interpretations and the environment of his estate would influence how the children's arrival was understood. Today, Woolpit remains a quiet village in the heart of Suffolk, a place where the echoes of the past still resonate. The wolf pits, though no longer in use, serve as a reminder of the village's origins and the enduring legend of the Green Children. The landscape itself, with its hidden valleys and ancient woodlands, contributed to the mystique surrounding the Green Children. It was a place where the imagination could easily take flight, where the boundaries between the real and the imagined blurred. Woolpit, more than just a location, became a stage upon which a timeless enigma was played out. The tale of the Green Children continues to captivate, inviting us to ponder the enduring power of stories and the mysteries that lie hidden within the landscape of legend. Years have passed since the Green Children appeared in Woolpit. Ralph of Coggeshall, within the quiet of his abbey, again contemplates the events, the story now etched into the annals of his chronicle. He considers all that he's heard, all that he's written, and the enduring questions the children leave behind. Miles away, William of Newburgh, ever the diligent historian, revisits his own account. The tale of the green children remains a perplexing anomaly, a story he documented with his characteristic skepticism. He considers the various explanations he has encountered, none fully satisfactory. The green girl, now a young woman, walks through the village. Her green skin, though less vibrant with age, still marks her as different. Has she truly assimilated, or does a part of her still yearn for St. Martin's land? The question lingers. The fields of Woolpit continue to yield their bounty. The raw beans that once sustained the green children are now a familiar part of the villagers' diet. A simple, yet constant reminder of the extraordinary event. In hushed tones, the villagers retell the story of the green children. It has become a local legend, embellished with each passing year, a testament to the power of storytelling and the allure of the unknown. Ralph considers the theory of Flemish refugees. Could the children have been lost and disoriented, their green skin a result of illness or malnutrition? It is a plausible explanation, yet it lacks the romanticism of the St. Martin's land. William meticulously researches medical anomalies. Could a disease, a rare deficiency, account for the children's unique coloration? He remains skeptical of fantastical explanations, seeking a rational basis for the events. Centuries later, the wolf pits remain, silent witnesses to a bygone era. The landscape has changed, but the enigma of the green children endures. Historians continue to analyze the chronicles of Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh, dissecting their biases, contextualizing their perspectives, searching for truth within the medieval narrative. St. Martin's land, whether a real place or a figment of imagination, continues to captivate. It represents the human desire to explore the unknown, to venture beyond the boundaries of the familiar. Did the green children truly come from another world, or were they simply victims of circumstance, their story warped by the lens of medieval perception? The answer remains elusive. The mystery of the green children of Woolpit persists. It is a tale that speaks to our deepest fears and our greatest hopes, a reminder that the world is full of wonders, both real and imagined, and that the search for understanding is a journey without end.